I tried to explain this in the video for Operation Gargoyle's Cry and failed miserably. These three bosses right here, they are random. It's an RNG based thing and it can summon as any of these at any given time. Which I did not expect. It's not the way that I heard this worked when you actually look this up. Yes, the fragmented 3 different bosses are completely random. But we're not here for that. We're here for how do you get the 60-eyed monstrosity to spawn. Because it's called this because you have to get 60 eyes to spawn it. By the way, everybody who keeps going out there saying, oh, that's what it's called, that's what it's called. No, it's called the 60-eyed, whatever it is, fragmented one, because during the phase to get the boss to spawn, you have to sort out 30 eyes. Once you collect the 30 eyes, the location of the fragmented one will be revealed. Only on Steel Path, you want to try this, because it doesn't work on normal. If you go beyond that 30 and you go for the full 60 eyes, something else will spawn. And it will mess you up. Because the 60 Murmur-eyed, whatever this thing is called, can only be spawned in on the Steel Path. In solo it'll be level 225, with a full squad he's level 300, and this thing will strip you of any buffs you have if you get too close. Stop you from using abilities if you get too close. Kill you if you look at him wrong. Throw you across the map if you look at him wrong. He took a lot of people by surprise. Yes, I also tried this out and got wrecked doing it. I know he exists. I give exactly 0 bags of care about him because there's nothing he really has that is worth doing this fight until this Operation Gargoyle's Cry actually launched. Now he's worth taking down. Yes, there is that the whole, what's it called, Manus Sumbali figurine that you can actually get by taking this thing out, but not really worth it just for a landing craft decoration. Until you realise this boss, during Operation Gargoyle's Cry, drops 2 curses of knowing, 2 curses of seeing, and 2 curses of hearing. Drops 2 of every curse, which means instead of having to run the normal boss repetitively, you can just take on the big guy, get that special reward that, to be fair, it's nice to have. It's kind of a, ooh look, I actually took on this guy kind of thing, but at the same time not, because this guy is hard to take down. He literally will strip you of any buffs that you have, which I loved. Getting close to him and not being able to use your abilities, if you get too close to him as an operator, you are stuck as an operator. You cannot go back to your frame. Don't get too close to this guy. Then it gets even worse. Ooh, you cannot revive. If you, up until this point, through the rest of the mission on Steel Path, you can still revive. Once this boss fight starts, it kicks in the arena, you cannot revive if you die. You can be revived if you get knocked down, but once you full on die, you're done. You cannot come back. No revives. You cannot use consumables, which means no arc gun. That's a straight up lie because I've used the arc gun. But according to Digital Extreme, no consumables will work during this boss battle. And on that one, I want to say it took me by surprise, but I kind of have used the arc gun against this guy, so I don't understand how they can say no consumables. And yes, it is rumoured, not really fully confirmed, and I am still looking into this one. Enhanced enemies as well, which means lots of status effects being thrown around that will mess you up even more. Is this guy really, really worth taking on? Hell yeah. That, oh, the fact they disabled respawns was a really nice touch. Kind of mentioning this to you before you started this should be thrown up as a warning, but no, just revives are gone. That Manus Sumbali, the hands, it's nice to do this boss once, just get them and be done with it, but during the whole Gargoyles Cry event, it drops 2 curses of all the curses. So you actually end up with 6 curses in total because you end up with 2 of each. Meaning you can solo the entire event in a week doing 5 missions. Rather than have to do, if you are a solo clan doing this, 15 missions. Because on Steel Path, taking on the normal boss, if, and only if, you get 5 encounters of each of the random bosses turning up. In the meantime, I think just running the normal boss to try and get a hold of those may be worth it. But the 60-eyed boss, you have to do the 60 eyes to get it to spawn, and oh wow, this thing will mess you up. Easy enough to take it out, the magnetic damage it does is kind of seriously annoying. And I looked into this part, the cascading fragmentation increased. As far as I can find from the little information that's actually out there about this particular thing, it speeds up the boss, shortens your bleed out timer, and increases the damage you take. Apparently it also increases the damage you give, which means once this starts to stack every minute in the second phase of the boss fight, things get a lot more interesting and a lot quicker. God, I'm doing absolutely no damage there in that screenshot, am I? Don't go in with a Godfa. It will not end nicely. And to be fair, it was kind of self-explanatory here what the hands were. I keep referring to it as a landing craft decoration. Technically it's an orbiter decoration. It's a Sumdali. It's the thing on the front of your ship. And yes, I haven't picked up any of the focus ones because yeah. They are a set of hands that go onto the front of your landing craft. And I can 100% admit I've never seen these in a loading screen to date. And they do kind of scale well depending on the ship you have. Ooh. It still goes on the front. Self-explanatory with that one, also going to go on the front, but does not fit properly. These would have looked so much nicer on the wings. Can't kind of show it on the Xiphos because I'm not willing to take this skin off. Does actually go pretty well on every other ship though, which is quite an amazement. It's this one I'm interested because there's nothing really for it to hold on to on the front, and when you put any of the other ones on it kind of goes to the top. Oh, and the hands go to the top too. There's nothing to hold on to on the top of that ship. That just looks weird. But then again, so did that, which is why I don't have one on it. Because it just, I could understand at the front, but then where would they go? And better question, what happens if you put them on this? Yeah, it just goes onto the front. Okay, never mind. We'll just take that back off, and I kind of want to leave these on. So I'm going to, because they don't look too bad. And that is your subtle flex on a loading screen. So it's not a landing craft decoration. It doesn't go inside of your orbiter. No, it goes onto your landing ship, your landing craft. How did I miss that? But anyway, with that, we'll leave this off here. This boss is a pain, but is very, very worth actually taking out, especially with Gargoyles Cry on the go. Even if this turns around and still says 0% on here, but actually says something completely different when you go in here. Yeah, I think that's the clan, and if that's the global one, we're screwed. But with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.